has. I'm 54 now, but I was 46 when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And early this year I became really quite depressed and miserable because of COVID, partly, but because of my progression with Parkinson's. I was walking with a stick at this time last year, so I was advised to join the group, and I'm a different person. They've totally changed my life. I never ever thought I'd dance again or sing again, because the group has a singing class as well.
I'm Ashley, and amongst other things I've got Parkinson's. I looked around to find as many things as I could which would keep me busy and active, and Ascendance Dance has done all of that.
Exercise is good for you, and my neuro consultant advised me to take up exercise. She sent me for a course through the Chapel Allerton Hospital, where the dance class came for the last meeting and introduced us and told us we could come to this. So yes, I came to this.
My name's Pauline, I'm retired. I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's now for 8 years, and coming to something like this is on many levels is excellent. It's socialising, it's doing exercise, it's engaging and challenging yourself. So I'm really pleased I came today.
We can see so clear.
The festival today is age proud, and obviously being over 50, I'm sort of proud that I can still do this, especially with my condition. So,
do you feel like it's helped you at all or changed anything?
Well, it certainly aged me. You wouldn't think I was 43, would you?
It's encouraged me to try something different, to challenge myself, and to not be afraid to be out with people when you've got a condition like I've got, instead of isolating myself at home.
So when I joined Ascendance in February, it was mainly for the dancing, and it was all on Zoom, obviously because of COVID. So on a Monday there was Emma's class with the dance burst, on a Tuesday it was Rachel's class with the sort of seated dancing chair exercise thing. Georgina does the singing on a Wednesday. They also have a session on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, so I'm Rachel, I'm the Artistic Director for Ascendance, and this is a lovely Emma who I work with. So Ascendance, we've been going for about 22 years now, so we've spent a lot of time working with communities across the UK, working with youngsters and older people. In the last 5 years we set up a Dancing for Parkinson's programme. My mum was diagnosed with Parkinson's. I was like, okay, I didn't know what that meant, so I was kind of like, okay, well, how can I find out about it? And then I was hearing about doing a bit of research, and it was like, oh, Dancing for Parkinson's is quite a big thing. So I just went to a lovely lady in Halifax, and I called Natalie, and I went into her group. And then I realised that, Parkinson's, it wasn't a death sentence. It was like there was like really happy people still going out and enjoying themselves. So the groups were going really well, and we were working we started a new group in Marie Curie Hospice, and then we got the phone call. They were one of the first to shut everything down just before lockdown. And then we were like, what are we going to do? And it was like our whole world just shifted very, very quickly. And we had a lovely volunteer. He said, okay, if we do go into lockdown, there's this thing called Zoom. We were like, Zoom, what's that? I've done Skype, but we didn't know. And as you say, I'm quite camera shy anyway, so the thought of transitioning and actually getting our participants, who many of them haven't had access to computers, quite a tricky time. And then we were like, okay, well, let's try it. Let's just see if we can get as many people as possible on screen and just see how it goes, even if we just come onto screen and just chat. So yeah, literally the week after that our classes got cancelled, we transitioned onto Zoom. So we started one, and we had a really good uptake. So I'd say probably about 70% of our participants. And then we were managed to extend our timetable from one class a week, and now we've got daily provision of Zoom classes every day of the week. And then in May time, we decided to trial a hybrid.
I think hybrid has just been such an integral thing for development of keeping those connections with people that can't physically get here in person and still need us. I think that's the value of it.
although Zoom has great limitations, it really has been fantastic. Because I was saying that all Ashley's other services, everything for Parkinson's just stopped, so that, because obviously in the National Health people were all working with COVID, so you had hardly any appointments at the hospital. The neurophysio groups stopped, the neuro-speech therapy, you were going to do things. Everything just came to an end. But you were something that kept running, and in fact then expanded what you were doing. And so through all that time, there was something that you could do that you enjoyed. Although you've been really glad that it's come back to a bit of a mixture of face-to-face. I think it gives more flexibility, because some people, for various reasons, will probably always want to stick to Zoom, and some people will only want to do on, in person. But some people actually will do either. But like say, if 1 week, if you can't make it in person because you're ill or whatever, you can still do the class. So it does give a lot of flexibility, doesn't it? When we had COVID, that was great, because obviously Ashley couldn't go to the class, but you could go to the Zoom ones. In fact, probably did a bit more of Ascendance that week, because we didn't have any, couldn't do anything else.
Ascendance has been very convenient for me. I mean, it is literally just around the corner.
Yeah. We had the diagnosis, and I think the next day I was in the library and I saw the leaflet, and I couldn't believe it. And I was really surprised, because I came home and said to Ashley, "Oh look, this is dance class, Dance with Parkinson's, and would you like to do it?" And Ashley just went, "Oh yeah," and then I think went off the next day. Whereas I thought you'd take a bit longer to kind of process having Parkinson's.
Go to a few different events, and Zooming and rooming with Ascendance is one, but it's probably the most energetic.
I love the fact that people who we have obviously attracted and embraced through Zoom are now actually trying to come to us and meet us for the first time. The wonderful thing for me the other day was going to Salt Air, where Rachel runs her Parkinson's session, and I met people I'd never met before, face to face, and there's something really special about that communication, that you can actually really reach out to people in the community, and I think that's great.
Yeah, it's been really good to see people in 3D rather than 2D.
I've really enjoyed coming back to the room. So Zoom was fantastic, and it's amazing in loads of ways in terms of improving accessibility, not just during the pandemic, but hopefully beyond, so more people can attend. But there's nothing like dancing in person, especially in a beautiful space like this. And just seeing people in all their full fleshy glory going for it with the dancing, it's wonderful to be reunited back here.
You know, some of our participants are very capable of actually creating work. We've had someone make a poem, which we're now making into actually a piece of music with our singing teacher, Georgia, and it's just, everything's excelling.
A lot of artwork up here. Well, that was my art folder from when I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
Before I was actually diagnosed with Parkinson's, when I sort of went to the doctors and they referred me to various different people, they said that I was suffering really sort of extreme depression. So I went into another group when I was in my late 30s, and I went to an art therapy class. The particular picture there was how I was feeling at that particular time, and this one was because when my tremor was really bad, I felt like people were staring at me and eyes all the time. first poem I ever wrote is actually up there, and it was when we first moved to this house, and I was a smoker back then, and I used to go outside to have a cigarette on a morning, and I heard some birds one morning, and I had to come running back in to write down what popped in my head. And it says, outside I heard the tweet of a bird, up on the roof there was the proof. I watched them play on this grey day. I wished it was me flying high and free. Last week, well, it was a week last Wednesday, Georgia said that we were going to be writing a sea shanty, and could we sort of think about the sea. I sort of shouted a few words out there and then, but then I just started writing, and over the next few days, that was it. So yeah, we've got Be the Sea, Following Me, Splashing Me, Salty Sea, Waves Breaking Free, Running Wild and Free, Washed Away, Never See Another Day, Just Like Clay, Crumbling Away. Where's the shore? It's at my door, taking it out. No, we scream and shout. Don't take our land, grab it with our hands. Don't fall and splash, the waves that crash. It takes to the sea. Homes never to be. Look to live in caves and different land by our own hand. Building new homes from rocks and stones. Taken from the shore so it erodes some more. But that is why it's gone we cry. Try to stop by building walls so more rocks don't fall. Hard saving land with a human hand. We're partly to blame why our own land is not the same. So out to sea it will go wild and free. Lost and gone, no more sea. That's what the future is going to be. Just you, me and the great big sea. It was supposed to be called the Casbah, as in the Casbah, but because it was built during COVID, so we could have people to the garden. So a lot of things in here, like the lamp there, I made the lamp. Steve made this lamp. I helped him with the thing. This is another one of my wacky pictures. You still get to the end of your life somehow, and you choose between being born and dying. You choose how to live that life, and you can either live it under the bed sheets, or you can take the diversion and enjoy the ride as you go kind of thing. And I've said it many a time, having Parkinson's is a right curse, but the best blessing is all the friends you make, the opportunities you get to do things that I wouldn't have got. The opportunities to be a calendar girl and go on radio and dance with you guys, and because I'd have been at work busy doing other things.
People come into this room, forget all their troubles outside, and actually we do really silly things, and we laugh at ourselves, and we don't take ourselves seriously, and it's taken quite a long time to get to that point. But I also think having that experience on Zoom, which has been so unique, so totally unprecedented, to in a real privilege to have taught all these people and just seen my own personal journey and seen their journey. They always come in and you sort of say, how are you doing? And they're like, not so bad, feeling good, thank you. And they've always got a smile on their face. They've made the group happen. We've just sort of facilitated it through dance.